It's only speculation, and it's not even local for now, but could talk about funding questions for the restart of a Michigan nuclear power plant cast any doubts about the 3 Mile Island restart here. Seth Kaplan's on this story for us today. He's live in the ABC 27 newsroom with more. Good afternoon, Seth.
Good afternoon, James. Yeah, President Trump has signed dozens of executive orders during his first week in office, one of them raising questions at this Palisades nuclear power plant in Michigan, as it's known, because the Trump administration wants to pause some spending from the Inflation Reduction Act, in other words, stimulus money that is fueling the restart of that plant. The Toledo Blade, a newspaper bordering Michigan, behind that reporting. Well, Constellation Energy is getting a federal loan guarantee similar to the one some folks in Michigan say could be at risk there. So could the $1.6 billion federal loan guarantee for TMI Reactor 1, what's now called the Crane Clean Energy Center, be at risk? Skeptics of the restart hope so.
The bottom line here is that the Trump administration has injected uncertainty into these nuclear power transactions. It doesn't mean that they're not going to happen, but what it does mean is it makes these deals a lot more difficult. Biden and Trump are both very pro-nuclear. The difference is that Trump is anti-Biden, and the Inflation Reduction Act is Biden's hallmark piece of legislation.
From Epstein's perspective, any doubt about government support for the restart of Reactor 1 would be a good thing. Needless to say, there are plenty of supporters of the project, most prominently Constellation Energy itself. We have reached out to them. Haven't heard back yet, but James, a very important distinction between the Michigan plant and TMI is that the Michigan restart is contingent on a lot of the support coming through. In other words, no aid, no nuclear energy, based on what leaders there said. Constellation has always basically said it'll take whatever help it can get, but the aid isn't a condition of the restart here.
And Seth, does that have anything to do with the fact that Microsoft is a big backer of this project?
Well, right. So basically they said because they had this giant customer guaranteeing to buy the energy for so long that it made economic sense for them no matter what. That's what made the investment for them so compelling based on what they initially told us. So that government-backed aid, the loan, did end up coming through later. So we'll have to see if they do say more. But again, that is an important distinction here. Nuclear skeptics, on the other end, hoping that it won't be an important enough distinction to prevent similar questions here.
Definitely something to keep an eye on, though, and I know that you will be doing just that. Seth Kaplan, live in the ABC 27 newsroom. Thank you so much for that.
James.